Alrighty, we got Indiana, UCLA, and Pasadena. Super excited for this game. And this game is a 12 p.m. kickoff, one of them big noon kickoffs on Fox, of course. So this will only be the second ever meeting between these two programs. Definitely no lost blood here. When you think about what happened in 2024, well, Hoosiers put hands and feet on this program last year, 42-13. Granted, some of these players were not there, like Nico Iamaleava was in Knoxville during this moment, but Indiana is red hot. Curt Cignetti has got to play an outstanding ball, and even though I had close proximity with JMU, I went to a lot of games there. Curt Cignetti just haven't changed. He's always been highly confident, always believed in how successful he will be. I just didn't know he would get instant success. I don't think we can properly quantize his success appropriately. He went to a program that was struggling, right? Went to a program that was struggling, had a little bit of success when Michael Penix Jr. was there, but you look at, they were struggling, and I don't think people realize that in your first 2 years, the portal is your way to build your team, and it's pretty much the only way to build your team. Of course, you're going to get players, out of high school, and you'll be able to recruit. Like last year, the success that they had making it to the playoffs, that's a great recruiting hack there. You win games, you can get recruits to come there. Hey, I maybe wasn't looking at Bloomington, Indiana first, but now I'm looking at Bloomington as a place that I can have success and that can yield me to the next level, right? We saw what Curtis worked, group of 5 was at Ohio, seeing him come over there and have an immense amount of success, and now he's in the NFL. I think that is outstanding, but your first couple years, and I talked with a few coaches about this, me and Zach Kittley had this conversation. He was like, it was crazy, because he was talking about Caden Veldkamp and how much of a help that he's been able to help people with the installs, and he was having individual meetings with his wide receivers and his backs and teaching them the system. He said he did that while he was hitting a recruiting trail, because you instantly got to get active in the portal in order to compete in your inaugural year. So the fact that they were able to compete, and of course you got somebody like Elijah Sherrod who played with him at JMU, who followed him there, but in order to compete in that inaugural year, and I will say that the first 2 years you needed to be able to get active in the portal. After the second year, the third year is where you should start yielding results from people that you've developed. That's when we start to see the transformational coaching. But in the very beginning, it's transactional. Hit the portal, see what we can get, install our system, see how well we can play this year. But I believe that Curt Cignetti is truly an anomaly or an outlier, whatever vernacular or verbiage you would like to use, because he was able to have transactional and transformational coaching not only in his first year, but also in his second year. We're seeing it as well. So that means whatever that they're doing in Bloomington is working. And the fact that he doesn't even have his players, the players that he recruited solely yet, that's where it gets dangerous. He's hit jackpot on the portal twice at the quarterback position. I think he and Jeff Brom have taken very similar approach to their job. Hey, we're going to find outstanding kids. We'll get them to play here. Maybe they didn't have the right opportunity or weren't in the right system. We'll teach them our system. Whatever we got to do in the portal, we'll still recruit. So if you look at what Louisville has been able to do, and they haven't even had quite the success that Curt Cignetti has had, but he's had some success. We saw they were in the ACC championship his first year there. They just upset Miami this weekend. I think they've taken very similar approaches. Hey, we're going to have to be transactional because we don't have our players yet. But through being transactional, we'll find ways to find out who these players are and find out how we can develop them and turn that transformation on. So I think that's outstanding. So this is only their second ever meeting, and 7-0, which is crazy. 7-0 right now, and they're just playing outstanding ball, bro. In the top 5 in the country, the AP poll. UCLA is sitting at 3-4. So we got one of those weird games. This is a really weird game. Both teams, one is trending in the right direction after reaching coaching changes, and one had just haven't dropped off at all from when they were at last year. And I think a lot of people expected, including myself, expected a sophomore slump from Indiana. Well, here we are, they're 7-0, and they will probably be in the college football playoff this year. I know a lot of people probably didn't have that on their college football 2025 bingo card. I certainly didn't, but it just shows that coaching matters at this level. It really does. So let's talk about the head coach. You guys know how we like to do our previews. We like to start with the away team. And let's talk about Indiana, Curt Cignetti. They're 7-0. Cignetti Hoosiers they really are a model of balance, discipline, ruthless efficiency. You can't just say they're efficient. They are ruthlessly efficient. it's hard to have your team perform as well as Curt Cignetti team performs on the road. Like, I seen this team where I remember Jason Miura, the attorney general here, was trying to fight for JMU to be able to play in their conference championship that year back in 2023, where they was just putting hands and feet on everybody that was on their schedule until App State upset them. And that was at Bridgeforth Stadium in Huntington, VA as well. And it was frustrating to see, but to see what Curt Cignetti did there and to see what he does here, and it's like Indiana gets it. As a program, they get it. And the reason that I say that they get it because they understood the assignment. They said, all right, this guy can really coach. Like, we knew we hit a home run, but we didn't know this home run was a grand slam. And it was a walk-off grand slam at that. Like, we had no clue. So, yeah, let's go ahead and give him more money because we know teams going to be coming after him. And now we look at the coaches carousel that's upcoming this year. This is going to be the greatest. I'm looking more forward to the offseason for the coaches carousel because this is about to be crazy with the amount of seats that need to be filled and the amount of coaches that are able to fill them. I think it's going to be outstanding, just speaking honestly. But they said, nah, let's go ahead and double up. Let's make him one of the highest paid coaches in college football, especially when Penn State got open. And we know that the resources in Penn State and Happy Valley are more plentiful than the resources in Bloomington. We know that 100%. But Indiana was extremely smart. They said, nah, let's double up. Let's get more money so this guy don't leave. And you just see him at the podium, right? He has this look, and you just know it, bro. Like, I don't know. I just study body language, and he has this look like, I told you what I was going to do. Like, he ain't say it, right? But he said it with his body. Like, somebody sitting at a table like this, yeah, I knew we would be here. He knew it. The rest of us didn't know it, but he knew he would be here, right? So, I love what they're doing. Tim Skipper has done an outstanding job. And I don't know why we continue to have this conversation about Jerry Neuheisel and Tim Skipper, but it's getting really frustrating. But they've won 3 straight games since he's took over as interim coach. I'm not sure what UCLA plans to do as far as coaching next year, but I believe Jerry Neuheisel and Tim Skipper has done enough to be able to hold on to this thing for next year. But what are you willing to invest in your program? How much money are you willing to put up? Virginia Tech got it. That's why they got Bruce Arians involved to help them with their coaching search, and they're willing to put out more money. Because they know to compete in the ACC and to do what they want to do and to get more recruits that want to come and play at Virginia Tech, you got to spend money. That's the way it works. UCLA need to do the same thing because I had more problems with the administration and the athletic department than I did with Deshaun Foster and Tino Sinceri. I had more problems with the admin and how they were handling things more than I had issues with the way that the coaches were handling things. But we see that coaching matters, scheme matters, and they've been able to do their thing. So let's talk about Indiana first. Offensive coordinator is Mike Shanahan. He's done an outstanding job this year. It's a spread attack. It's simple. It's focused on tempo, spacing, high efficiency quarterback reads. And that's why Fernando Mendoza is playing outstanding this year. They keep it super simple. Some of the best teams in college football. We look at it, we say, oh, wow, this looks very exotic. It's simple. It's simple. We're going to take what the defense give you. And even those times y'all don't want to give us this and you're trying to play that, we're going to show you that we're better. And we're going to execute better than you guys are going to execute. And Fernando Mendoza is playing out of his mind. He's really talked himself into a discussion of being the first quarterback selected in the 2026 NFL draft. And I think that's amazing. We look at what they're able to do. And Elijah Wright is a real deal on the outside, but I knew he was a real deal a few years ago in 2023 when I used to go to those JMU games. I knew he was a real deal then. Indiana averages 497 yards per game. That's 7th nationally. 43.9 points per game. This is 4th nationally. We saw them having the ability to do this last year. Guess what? They're doing it again this year. And guess what? It's even more difficult to do it after tape is out on you. Because last year you didn't really know what to expect from Indiana. Hey, we heard this guy's a really good coach, but what do we expect from him? So now you're starting to watch, okay, what Shanahan did before he was there, what Cignetti did at JMU, what worked, what didn't work, how was teams able to defend it. Now the tape is out there and you're executing even better. That's when you start to separate who's who and who's not at the coaching ranks. That's 100% how you separate it. Quarterback Fernando Mendoza, he's playing Heisman level football, 100% completing 73.5% of his passes, 1,700 yards on the year, 21 touchdowns, and guess what? He's protecting the ball. Only 2 interceptions on the season. They are doing their best impression of what I always say on this show. Make sure your possession ends in a kick, whether that's point after touchdown, a field goal or punt. Football is a simple sport. If you can win the war of attrition on a line of scrimmage, and if you can end every possession in a kick, you don't want a lot of punts, especially in college football when teams can score points and punches, but you're still playing the field possession game at that point, like even if you're punting the ball. So that's the beauty of it. So love what Indiana has at running backs. I love the kid Roman Hemby that they got from Maryland. Been following him from years. And then Kaelon Black is playing outstanding as well. 439 yards, 3 tutties on the season. And then I've already told you guys about Elijah Sarrat, but Omar Cooper Jr. is playing really well as well. So he got, 7 touchdowns, 605 yards. This offense is, I don't know. It's just difficult to stop. They scored 35 points plus in 6 of 7 of its games. And they're leading the Big Ten in red zone efficiency. This is amazing. This is outstanding. So we talked about the offense a little bit. Let's talk about the defense. They're led by defense coordinator Brian Haynes. This is Indiana defense. It's a multiple front. This guy's with pressures and aggressive zone principles. So you'll see a lot of mug fronts with them. You will see some simulated pressures with them. But they like to play a bend, don't break defense, right? They're going to be aggressive. A lot of times when people hear that they think a team is not going to be aggressive, they're still going to be aggressive, but they're still disciplined. They're not trying to give up a lot of big plays. That's just where they at. Even if you have some success 20-20, they're going to buckle down and make sure those drives are ending in more field goals than 6 points. And that's the amazing thing about this defense. So they're 7th nationally in total defense, 7th against the run, 4th in scoring defense. They're only allowing 11 points per game. And they play the success rate game. They definitely play the success rate game. They're suffocating on third downs. What's that? 25.3% conversion rate allowed on third downs. Turnovers, they're +7. And TOs, they're playing sound football. I love what the linebacker Jones brings to this team, 4.5 sacks. And then we got Moore, who's out there, got 49 tackles, as a defensive back, which is pretty impressive. When you look at this team, you just look at how sound they play, both offensively, both defensively, and they have a disciplinarian at head coach. Me, right? If I'm an athletic director, would I rather have a disciplinarian or would I rather have a player's coach? Well, it depends, because some people will probably prefer the player's coach. Give me the disciplinarian 10 times out of 10 and twice on Saturdays, because I know at the end of the day, mental mistakes should be minimalized because of that disciplinarian factor. And that's what we're looking at. So let's talk a little bit about UCLA. Really impressive these last few games. And, we talk about Jerry Newhouse a lot here. It's a pro-style based motion, option routes, and quarterback mobility. But it's also rooted in simplicity. Where we had Tino Sinceri coming from Indiana, where you do get some exotic looks where they are trying to force the defense to pick either you want to defend this run or defend this pass. Newhouse has just been able to simplify it and call plays that make their quarterback, Nico Iamaleava, comfortable. That's what we have in UCLA this year. Receiver, Kawazi Gilmer, 369 yards, 2 touchdowns. Level Mikey Matthews is doing as well. And then Anthony Frias, who just had a 97-yard performance a week ago. I like this offense. This offense is trending in the right direction. Just a few weeks ago, I think in total yards, they was like 110th. They're now 89th. So some people may not see that as progression, but I think that is incremental progression. I think you see that what they're doing is working. What this new coach and Tim Skipper is doing, what offense coordinator Jerry Newhouse is doing, it is working. And they're 104th in scoring. Everything is going in the right direction for this team. Defense coordinator Kevin Coyle, simplified 4-2-5 defense, and the simplification is what you're going to get from UCLA, because they want to have the ability to play aggressive. And let's play aggressive. We're not going to be doing a lot of thinking. Let's react and play aggressive. And I like what they're doing. They're 25th nationally in pass defense. That's what simplifying things get you sometimes in college football, especially when you have a lot of no-huddle offenses. And then turbo offenses is really difficult to defend. We see what Ole Miss has been doing in Oxford, just being able to have that turbo-style offense. So once you keep things simple, people know what they're doing, know what their responsibility is. They have that ability to play aggressive. That's what you're seeing out of this defense with Kevin Coyle. So I'm liking it a lot. I love what they're doing. And it's going to be really a matchup of this Indiana's offense, Mike Shanahan versus Kevin Coyle. How simplified can they be? When will Indiana decide to go no huddle? When will they decide to slow it down? Who can play this possession game? That's what I'm thinking about when I'm thinking about this game. Who can play this possession game? I can't say 2-1. If UCLA is going to have a chance to win this game, I mean, they need to possess the ball like 66% of the time. Not quite 2-1, but hey, give me a good old 34 to 20, 26, like one of those. We plus 8 minutes on time of possession. That's their only shot that they have to win this game, in my opinion, to be completely honest with you. So let's get some of the advanced metrics of this game. We talked about Indiana being +7 turnover margin. That's 10th nationally. UCLA is -1 in a turnover margin. That's 80th nationally. They're trending in the right direction. That number was awful a few weeks ago, and that's why I continue to say, hey, they're trending in the right direction. Let's get Indiana. They average 43.9 points per game. That's 4th in the country. Defense is only allowing 11 points per game. That's 4th in the country. UCLA is scoring 22.4 points per game. Trending in the right direction, still 104th in the country. And then they were allowing 27 points per game, 93rd. But like I continue to say, they are trending in the right direction. Indiana's defense is outstanding. We talked about the 25% third down rate. That's crazy. That's 5th in the country. UCLA offense only converts at a 40% click. That's 70th. So you have strength versus a weakness there. So UCLA needs to play the success rate game. If it's 37 or more, they're punting every time. They're punting every time. They have to have convertible third downs. I'm talking about even if it's 3rd and 4, call a run and go 4 on 4. Like, that's where I'm at with this game. They have to possess the ball. Indiana possesses the ball really well at 33 minutes a clip. What did I just say? I said 34 minutes is what UCLA needs to do. UCLA possesses the ball 30 minutes a clip. That's 62nd in the country. And I said Indiana is 6th. So those are some of the advanced metrics I'm looking at in this game. There's a lot of strengths for Indiana. The ability for their defense to get off the field on third downs. Their defense don't allow a lot of points. Even at times where they've been, they will never break. I can promise you they will never break. And they will give up 3s more than they give up 7. So UCLA is going to have to seize the moment and possess the ball. That's the key of the game for me. So if this is a game out Pasadena where Indiana has the ball 34 minutes, Indiana by 21. It's just going to be like one of those type of games they're able to possess the ball. Now, if UCLA is able to possess the ball, they have a chance. They truly do have a chance. And while UCLA is very hot, I know I went against them last week. I hate going against them this week. It's just Indiana is that good. And I do think we get another upset this week. It could probably be in this game. I just don't see it. Because Indiana has outscored opponents 98-35 in second quarters this season. That is a crazy stat. That is an outstanding stat. So UCLA is very hot. Can they win this game? Absolutely. They'll just have to be physical at the point of attack, with attrition on the line of scrimmage, and possess the damn ball. But for me, it's Cignetti. It's what he brings to the table. UCLA has been a fun story. I do think UCLA will have the opportunity to compete for bowl eligibility this year. They're 3-4. They only got 2 more that they can lose. And I haven't really seen their schedule down the stretch, but this one is just a tough one. Give me Indiana in this game. I do think both teams compete. I don't think it's a blowout. Only way it's a blowout is if UCLA is turning the ball over and they just don't possess the ball, like we see in Missouri against Alabama, where Alabama time of possession was 2-1.